Hey guys, Kiwi with 3 Eyes here from Animal Jam, and today I'm going to be doing my first Animal Jam Storytime video. This story time is not scripted at all. I know some story times on YouTube, it doesn't even have to be Animal Jam, are scripted because people don't want to mess up the story or whatever. Not saying they're not true, but they are scripted, so if I mess this up, like I usually mess up my YouTube videos, I'm sorry, but I feel like storytime videos are better when they're not scripted at all. So I'm going to try that and we are going to see what happens. This story time is very, very interesting. I am totally ashamed of the way I acted in the situation, but it's kind of understandable. I don't know, maybe, I don't know when I even, oh yes, I started in 2011. This was 1 year after I started, so 2012, so let me just calculate. I'd be 10 years old, I think. I think I should be 10 years old. I don't remember what month it was or anything, but this is a totally, I acted just so nuts and over the top, but I present to you the story time of the first time I got scammed. So, I am usually a very trusting person, and I made, at the time, I thought, the biggest mistake of my life. I trusted the wrong person, I got carried away, and it came back to bite me. So this was around the time when I had first just started getting rare. This was before adventures and all of that. So Warren's scary batwings were still rare. I also had my prized possession fox hats, which were still rare back then, really, really rare. And still kind of rare now, green elf tail armor, which was like my first ever really good rare. So, or beta, whatever you want to call it. So, I had 2 pink Warrens, a pair of scary batwings, a dark blue fox hat, and my tail armor. I was so happy with that, and I was working my way up to getting a spiked wristband, because back then it was super, super hard, harder than now, to get a spike. If you think it's hard now, and you hadn't played in 2012 or lower, or whenever spikes came out as in the Forgotten Desert, I don't know. If you think they're hard to get now, just imagine 5 times harder or more. They were so hard to get. It was crazy. So I had worked so hard to get the items that I had. I just stayed up late nights, lied to my parents that I was staying up, got grounded. I was just over the top hardcore Animal Jam player just so I could get a pixel. And now that I'm 14 years old, I realize how stupid that was. But anyways, let me just continue with this story. I just needed to give you a little bit of backstory on my personality back then while playing Animal Jam. And I was also not the type to be generous, as I think I'm more generous now, I would say. But back then, if anyone was in need of anything, I would totally just be so, like, the worst person ever, and I would, like, unbuddy them, block them, anything like that, all of the above. So there's that little backstory. Hopefully you can kind of see how the type of jammer I was back when I was 10 years old. So I met a friend, well, at least I thought they were my friend at the time, and we had been talking for a while. I'm going to give them a fake name because I don't want to expose them, even though they ruined my life. No, they didn't ruin my life, but at the time I thought it was the end of my life. But I'm going to name them Iguana. Yeah, I'm going to call them Iguana. And if that's an actual Animal Jam username, I'm sorry. Iguana was not the actual username to scam me. I will always remember this person's username, but I will not expose them. I don't work like that anymore. So anyways, me and Iguana had been talking for quite some time. We would do all the typical 10-year-old things you would do on Animal Jam. Actually go to places like Captain Melville's Juice Hut, where I am right now. We would go around Jamaa, trolling everybody, things like that. We were like tight. We were besties. And then came the dreadful day when I discovered trust trading. So this was back when, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. Keep in mind I was 10, but this was when Animal Jam didn't have the rule where you had to do the trade and then confirm the trade. They did that, I'm pretty sure, so people couldn't do trust trading anymore. But basically, Iguana was like, hey, do you want to trust trade with me at my den? I was like, what's trust trading? And they explained it to me. I was like, cool, I'm down. Like, that seems fun. Like, who knows, maybe I could get some good pictures that I could keep, pretend like people were actually trading. Yeah, like, I was that person. So what I did was, like I said, accepted the offer to trust trade, and I started out slow, and what I mean by that is I started out with bad items, and I thought, like, that's enough, like, maybe I could get away with it. Like, really all I wanted to do, I wasn't going to scam them, I just really wanted some good pictures, and I really wanted to be like, oh my god, someone's really trading that. But I didn't want to do that because I was that person. I was, like I said, I was trusting, but I was also very greedy, so I wouldn't be fair. So I didn't want to play this game with her, but I did want her to play with me, if that makes any sense. That sounds kind of weird, but if that makes any sense whatsoever, I hope it does. So she was getting really mad at me, and nowadays if someone's just getting mad at me because of rares or whatever, I would simply just tell myself this person is not a good friend, unbuddy them and move on. But like I said, we were besties. Well, I thought we were besties. I thought we were tight. And I thought, yeah, all of the above. So they were getting mad at me like, this isn't fair. Like, you're not trading fair. I'm trading you really good items, which they were. And so I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. So I started out with my beta tail, and they declined. So I was like, wow, like, this person is serious. Like, they're not actually going to accept my trade. Because I had heard of scammers before on Animal Jam, but I didn't know that trust trading was so dangerous until, I kind of got into it. So once I realized they weren't going to accept my trade, at least I thought, I started, treating them bat wings, things like that. They were declining. I was like, holy cow. Oh my gosh. And if you played in 2012, you would know how rare batwings were. So, I started adding in my warn. They were like, do your other warn. So I did my other warn. They declined. And this is where I messed up. This is where I should have stopped. I added in all of my good rares. I put in my fox hat, I press OK. No time, guys. No time. I don't think it was even a split second. No, that's dramatic. It was like a second. They accepted. I was like, ha ha ha, can you give it back? And they're like, no, unbuddied me and ran. And at this time, you can lock people out of your den. So I was just in her den, jamming her, like, this isn't funny, can you please give me back my items? And she was like, yeah, sure. And she sent me an item, and I thought it was going to be it. I opened it, it was like something really dumb from the store, and I was like, no, I'm not kidding, like, give me my item. And then they sent me back the beta tail, because that was probably the least rarest thing out of everything, if you can even imagine that, because now beta tails are pretty rare. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I got my beta tail. That was like my first big rare, so I was happy about that. But I was trying to get my other stuff back. And at this point, I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I didn't know what to do. So finally end up getting my fox hat and my warrants back. And they still have my scary bat wings. But that was like the rarest thing out of everything on that list, except for maybe the warrants. But scary batwings, like, I really wanted them back. So I told my dad, and he emailed AJHQ. And there was a time, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, you could email AJHQ and ask for items, and they would give them to you, even if you weren't scammed or not. But back in the day, they did not do anything of that sort. So they said, sorry, we can't replace it. So basically, Iguana had my scary bat wings. So the next day, I tried to talk to her. I was like, Iguana, and like, can you please give my scary bat wings back? And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, what scary bat wings? And I was like, Iguana, like, you stole my scary bat wings yesterday? And she's like, oh, that must have been my sister, sorry. And she unbuddied me, and that was the end of it. And I had made Instagram account. Please help me get Iguana to give me back my scary bat wings. Like, I don't know what to do. I think I can try to insert a clip of that in here. I'll try my hardest. You guys, I found the video. So much cringe. Okay, you ready?
Hey guys, I was trust trading with and she scammed my scary bat wings and almost my green batted tail armor. So please report her and hopefully she gets banned.
Just wanted to add, guys, that I actually did get scammed of other things, but sorry, blame my 10-year-old self. Did not mention them for some reason. But yeah, I did get scammed of other things. But yeah, that was the end of the video. I learned never to trust trade, never to trust anyone, never to be trusting. I soon got over that, but actually this was on my old account, MBD14. Kiwi is my new account. Yeah, that's a crazy story. I was so upset. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry it's so long. Hopefully it was entertaining. And leave a comment if you want me to do more story times, and I can definitely do that because I have a ton of stories, and I will try to find that clip, and you'd probably hear it by now if I could find it, but if not, I'm sorry. Yeah, bye guys.